Hey everybody, welcome back to my videos. Today I'm going to be commentating on a match that I played to standard using Blue-Eyed Delver with Pyke, and so let's check this game out. Alright, so my opening hand's pretty good. I've got Ponder to set up whatever I need, Vapor Snag to bounce any guys, Thought Scour's good. I can use it with Ponder if there are two cards I need and another I want to get rid of, such as another land, and Phantasmal Image, copy Strangle Rootgeist or anything else that my opponent might be playing. So we don't mulligan. He leads off with Swamp, so I'm probably expecting zombies at this point, and so playing my turns accordingly. And I don't Gitaxian Probe on this turn because I want to ponder and set up right now. I might want to Thought Scour away the cards later. I could have Gitaxian Probe first, and that would have just got me the Vapor Snag, and then I could shuffle away these islands. I really don't need any more land. One more land might be nice, so I could Snapcaster back, maybe a Mana Leak or something like that later in the game. But right now, this just really isn't what I want. So I go ahead and I shuffle that away. And of course, we draw another land. It always happens. So then on his turn, he lays an island or a plains. So at this point, black-white tokens most likely. And I draw Snapcaster Mage, which is a pretty good draw, especially with the Gitaxian Probe. So right now I'm just going to use Snapcaster Mage as a Silvergate Adept. Now in this case we see he's actually playing some sort of white-black control. He's running Buried Ruins, so we can assume he has all the Wellsprings. He's playing Wormcoil Engine, Pristine Talisman. He probably also has Solemn Simulacrum. He only has 3 lands, which is good for us because it means he'll probably be slow getting to his big end with Sorin's Vengeance and Wormcoil Engine. But he does have 2 Oblivion Rings for our guys, which are going to be annoying. Alright, so we draw another Gitaxian Probe and then just Gitaxian Probe to get some more cards, because everyone likes drawing cards. And of course we had another land, and I'll just Snapcaster now and do a Silvergate Adept impression. And see his hand again, draw a Thought Scour, which is okay, but not what we're looking for right now. Right now we're rolling on another Snapcaster Mage or a Ponder or Geist of St. Traft to start applying pressure. So he plays his land and his Talisman for his turn and passes it back to us. And we draw even more land. So I go ahead and Thought Scour stuff, looking for some action. Maybe we'll find a Runechanter's Pike. We found a Mana Leak, which is good. We go ahead and attack him with our Snapcaster. And he debated for a while on miracling this Terminus, but he finally decided to. And with the cards in our graveyard already, just pull these out here so you guys can see. We got Ponder, Gitaxian Probe, Thought Scour, Gutshot. Gutshot's not going to do anything in this game, but Ponder is going to be really good. So I decided to just go ahead and Vapor Snag my own guy after Thought Scouring myself. And we hit Runechanter's Pike, which means we want a guy even more. So our Vapor Snag plan looks even better. So he goes ahead and Termini, maybe. And he drew another land. Phyrexian Core, that'll be good for him if he ever draws Wellsprings. And we draw even more land. We really don't need all this land. It's a bit overkill for our deck. I'm only running 19 lands, so I really shouldn't be drawing this many, but oh well. And I go ahead and play Runechanter's Pike and just pass the turn with Mana Leak up, because if I don't, he can just draw slam Wormcoil Engine, which we could just Phantasmal Image and then Snapcaster Vapor Snag, but I don't know, I just didn't want to do that. I'd rather Mana Leak and then Snapcaster back a Mana Leak if he goes for Sorin's Vengeance. So his Oblivion Ring, he gets rid of Pike. That's not good for us because it's our main offense right now. Helps pump up our guys. So we go ahead and pro him. We're going down to 11, which is kind of risky, simply because he has Sorin's Vengeance, and if he ever catches up tapped out and can manage to do 1 extra damage, then we're dead. But it's okay. All he has is an Oblivion Ring, Wormcoil Engine, and Sorin's Vengeance, like we already knew. And we draw Sword and Feast and Famine, which is really nice. So I'm planning to set that up for next turn. If I just play Snapcaster Mage right now, he's not going to Oblivion Ring that, which means we can get a hit off with Sword, and we can safely Snapcaster back a Ponder right now to set up for later. Him discarding will be really important with that Sword of Feast and Famine, because they'll get rid of one of the big drops in his hand or the Oblivion Ring, which could take care of the sword, assuming he just draws like a land or something he wants to play next turn. So I go ahead and keep this because it's got another Vapor Snag we can use on his Wormcoil Engine and a Delver Secrets. I don't play Delver, obviously, because I want to leave up Mana Leak. And he just passes. And right now, he played another Buried Ruin, so the cards we still know in his hand, we know he still has the Oblivion Ring, Wormcoil Engine, and Sorin's Vengeance, so we're safe to play out a Sword of Feast and Famine and get a hit in with it. Play our Delver before combat because we're untapping all our lands. And we get the hit off. He discards Oblivion Ring, which I guess he's just planning for his endgame with his end drops, his Wormcoil Engine stuff, but fortunately for him, he's not going to get there. Because he's going to play Wormcoil Engine. At this point, I'm just going to Phantasmal Image it and Vapor Snag it because I want some life. And I'll Mana Leak it on the way back down. So Delver doesn't flip, just reveal even more land. Draw our land. Player Phantasmal Image, copy Wormcoil Engine, Vapor Snag his guy, and swing. So at this point he's pretty much out of it because we have the Mana Leak for both. It'll counter both Sorin's Vengeance and a Wormcoil Engine right now, and we're representing almost lethal next turn if our Delver flips. So he tries Wormcoil Engine, and we just Mana Leak it. Upkeep, Delver flips. Yep, I'll Vapor Snag, so that means he can't play any more creatures to block us. At this point he has to hope for like a Terminus or something. Terminus would be best because we don't have any creature, or we have one creature in our graveyard though. So even if he Terminuses, we've still got it locked up with the Sword of Feast and Famine on a Spirit token. No, he can't play. Yeah, he only has 7 lands, so if he miracles a Terminus, then he wouldn't be able to play Sorin's Vengeance in the same turn. He would be able to play Wormcoil, but we can just Vapor Snag Wormcoil. So he goes down to 1 life, and he can seize the game. Alright, so now, go to game 2. So, for my sideboard, 1 sec, we'll just pause this. Blue-Eyed Delver. Alright, this is my deck so far. It's a pretty standard Delver list, except for the fact that I'm only playing 1 Geist Saint Traft and 2 no Restoration Angels. I should be playing Restoration Angel probably, but I've been testing out these Invisible Stalkers. They've actually been really good. I really like just being able to sneak hits by with all our equipment, as we're playing 5 equipment in the deck. So for sideboard, I took out the Gut Shots and the Dismembers because they're pretty much useless against him. And I brought in Negate, a Dissipate, 1 Dungeon Geist, and 1 Divine Offering. The Dungeon Geist would be for his Wormcoils and stuff. Negates because he's playing mostly spells. Dissipate's just another hard counter, and Divine Offering because he's playing so many artifacts. Okay. Let's go back to the match. Alright, so our opening hand is decent. We got Delver Secrets on turn 1, plus Pike and a Negate. Phantasmal Image again, which can copy his Wormcoil Engines or anything else he plays later. We draw another Pike, which is okay, although we really do need more spells to turn that on. All we have is a Negate. Plays Wellspring, goes and gets himself another land. We get Probe, which flips our Delver nicely. And he revealed a Curse of Death's Hold. Here, we'll go to this so we can see it maybe next time. He had a Curse of Death's Hold, a Wormcoil Engine, and an Oblivion Ring, I believe. So, or no, not an Oblivion. He would have played Oblivion Ring. Anyway, we draw Sword, which will be really good. If we can ever sneak in a hit with that, if he just taps out. Delver's doing Delver stuff. I don't equip Runechanter's Pike because I want to leave open Negate. I saw you had Black Sun Zenith. That's why I'm leaving open Negate. So we could Black Sun Zenith for 2 and get rid of our Insectile Aberration. So he sacks that, goes and gets another land, plays his land, and he had a Solemn Simulacrum, which he plays, gets another land, and we draw Mana Leak, which will be good. It's another counter for his all his spells, plus it can counter Wormcoil Engine, which our negate can't. I go ahead and beat in, and I play another Pike. So he draws. He's got 6 land at this point. And he plays an Oblivion Ring. Now, I probably should have countered this Oblivion Ring in the gate just because I can play, if I draw a land, I can play Sword of Feast and Famine probably without any opposition, or I can just equip Rune Chanter's Pike and get in. Plus, he's already at 12, so that'd be good. But I didn't. Probably should have. And I make another huge misplay here by playing Phantasmal Image while he has Phyrexia's Core open, so he's able to sacrifice his Solemn Simulacrum, and I'm unable to copy anything. So I definitely should have saved that. So Phantasmal Image goes to the graveyard. He plays his land and plays another Solemn, and I'm not going to counter that because it won't do anything. And I get really lucky and draw a Ponder off this and see an Invisible Stalker, which is going to be awesome, especially with the extra Ponder we have here. We already have 1, 2, 3 possibly spells that are going to be in our graveyard. So I go ahead and keep this, putting Glacial Fortress on the bottom, Ponder, then Invisible Stalker. Play the Invisible Stalker and leave open Negate and Mana Leak. So right now he plays Curse of Death's Hold, which is interesting. So I just negate that, otherwise most of my creatures are dead. That card really would screw me over this game. So he plays his Lingering Souls, but they can't block my Invisible Stalker. And I go ahead, untap. I could play Ponder here and get the Glacial Fortress, but I kind of want to find an action spell with the Ponder. So instead I just play Sword of Feast and Famine, equip Sword of Feast and Famine, and beat in, making him discard one of his cards. He discards Wormcoil Engine, which he can just get back with his Buried Ruin later. And I untap and Ponder. Now this Ponder here is a really interesting decision. I see 2 lands, but I also see a Vapor Snag. I'm at 14, and if he has 1 more land and a Sorin's Vengeance, I'm dead if all these guys attack and hit me. So I go ahead and keep this Vapor Snag, because with this Vapor Snag, we have, right now we have 3 instant sorceries. The Vapor Snag will make it 4. We'll attach 2 pikes, and then he'll be dead next turn. So I go ahead and keep this to make sure that I don't die next turn. So he would have enough mana to play Sorin's Vengeance, 5, 6, 7. 1 more land would give him Sorin's Vengeance through Mana Leak, and all these guys would put me to 10, which would kill me. So this is risky, but if this works out, I'll have him dead next turn. So I go ahead and Vapor Snag, Solemn Simulacrum. I do the Solemn because he's more likely just replay Solemn. If he didn't draw a land and instead of one of his kill spells, he still has Black Sun Zenith in his hand, but he probably doesn't want to get rid of his tokens. So he goes ahead and sacrifices it, which is fine with us. He's still dead to our spells next turn. And he drops a Black Sun Zenith for 3, which conveniently can be Mana Leaked. Yeah, note, even if he did it for 2 to play around Mana Leak, I have 5 instants and sorceries in my yard, so I just equip both pikes and I have 11 to the face. So he basically has to play this to get rid of my creature, and of course I have the Mana Leak. So on my turn, just draw land, equip 2 pikes, hope he doesn't have Divine Offering, and that's the game. So thanks guys for watching. If you're interested on deck tech on my Blue-White Delver list, I'll be picking up some Restoration Angel shortly and should change that. I can do a deck tech, just comment in the sections, or if you like these gameplays and stuff, or if you'd rather see me do them live. I'm not sure if I want to start doing them live yet, just because that requires more skill and I have to be more interesting. But I hope you guys enjoyed watching this, and have a good day.